When I was your age, at 10 o'clock on a Saturday, I'd be in pajamas. I'd have a bowl of cereal strewn off to the side, no milk, it's already been drank. The sleep still dried up in my eyes, and I'd be playing video games. Right? Who plays video games? I'm not just talking to students. There we go. Come on, parents, raise your hand. Who plays video games? In fact, who would rather be playing video games right now rather than listening to me? Good man. All right, good man. Excellent, excellent. In 2003, I graduated from college. I was told that our keynote speaker would speak for 90 minutes, 9-0. And our graduation was outdoors in Colorado in May. I went to a military school. So for graduation, we had to wear a military uniform. And that uniform was a heavy wool jacket with a collar about this tall, heavy wool trousers, a starched shirt, and shirt garters. Does anybody know what shirt garters are?
No, we don't want to know.
Man, you don't want to know. I'm going to tell you. Shirt garters are these pieces of elastic that connect your sock to your undershirt. And they run inside your clothes. They rub against your legs, they skin your knees, they rub against your leg hair if you have any. They had to have been invented by a fashionista for the Nazi Party. They have no real value in society. I knew that with this speaker in the sun for 90 minutes was going to be too much for me to pay attention to. So I decided to pack a Game Boy. Have any of you heard of a Game Boy? But Game Boy, yeah man, Game Boys don't come with a convenient little pocket to put in your uniform, right? You're in a dress uniform, it's supposed to be tight, military. So I had to make myself a neck strap for my Game Boy. I used shoelaces and paper clips, and it worked beautifully. So I had my Game Boy right here, right by my heart, as I walked across my stage on graduation day. And when that speaker got up, I pulled out my Game Boy, opened the cover, and jumped into Yoshi World. If anybody's played Yoshi World, it's a horrible game. But it was better than my reality at that moment. Without a doubt, video games have ruled the entertainment industry for the entirety of your lifetimes. In 2009, Black Ops was released on the same day as Toy Story 3 and performed 300 times better in sales. In 2010, when Avatar came out, Modern Warfare 2 also came out and performed 200 times better in gross revenue. And in 2012, who remembers Avengers? Exciting, right? Big deal, right? Did not hold a candle against Modern Warfare 3. Have any of you played those games? Yeah? What other games do you guys play? What other games?
Madden.
Madden?
2K.
What is that?
2K. Basketball.
Oh, okay, gotcha. What, anything else? Where are my Angry Birds fans? Okay, wow, this is awesome. You Angry Birds right there. Video games rule the world right now. And if we can understand why, and if we can learn why and apply that to our own success, that means we can be as successful in our lifetimes as video games have been in their own lifetime. To understand how they got so popular, we have to go back a while. Back to when your parents were younger than you are now. The year was 1988. We had electricity in 1988. Okay. In 1988, the two top-selling games belonged to the same system. Anybody want to guess what that system was? Nintendo. Atari was a little bit earlier. Nintendo. You're still young, don't even tell.
Okay.
Nintendo. Mega Man 3 and Mega Man 2 and Super Mario Bros. 3 were the top-grossing games at the time. Other competitors were trying to enter into Nintendo's market. Sega, Namco. Nobody's heard of Namco. Oh, nice. Sega and Namco were just trying to get in. But Nintendo had it cornered. They had everything. So what did the competitors do? They tried to steal Nintendo's ideas and copycat the games. You've played these games that are called one thing on one system, they're basically the exact same thing on a different system. They tried to partner with Nintendo's partners so that they could push Nintendo out. They did everything they could to starve Nintendo of new ideas and new peers so that they could fight for this small share of an even smaller pot. They just wanted one piece of what Nintendo had. When Nintendo saw this hostility, they knew that they didn't want to keep up with the fight, because it doesn't make any sense to fight a battle with other people. Instead, they decided to do something experimental and not tell anyone about it. At the time, it was predominantly believed that games had to be linear. Who knows what linear games are? What are they?
They're games on like one plane that aren't 3D. They're like one dimension, not they're like a platformer would be around a good example.
Yeah, that's very close. It's one aspect of what linear gameplay is overall. On top of that, linear games are games that have a set storyline. Games that you have to learn the pattern, you have to learn the process, and through rote memorization, you will eventually beat the game. They were believed to be the most popular type of game because anybody could beat them. Some people would take 4 hours, some people would take 40 hours, but anybody could beat the game. So everybody wanted to be in the linear game business. They all wanted to be players, so they did whatever they had to do to get in the game. In 1988, halfway through the year, Nintendo launched their big experiment. And it was a huge hit. A game that broke every rule in the video game world. Does anybody want to guess what that game was? No. The game was Zelda. Who's heard of the Legend of Zelda? Oh, yeah! Whoa, we just saw that come to life. The Legend of Zelda was the first ever non-linear game released in the world. It sold 2.2 million copies in the first 6 months and 6.6 million copies in the following 12 months. To this day, it is recognized by video game experts, and this very wise audience, as the greatest and most influential video game of all time. Every game we play now calls back to some aspect of the first ever nonlinear game. Nonlinear games are games that are in an open world. You have infinite choices. You can go where you want to go, do what you want to do. Zelda brought this to the forefront. You could explore any part of the world you wanted to. You could find secret passages and find your way to boss battles before you found your way to the first sword. They allowed infinite opportunities for replay. You could save your process, pick your equipment, make your allies, and fight your battles in any order you chose. Linear games changed the game. Linear games allowed the players to build their own legend instead of adhering to the story that someone else wrote for them. Now, to help you get a feel for what linear and nonlinear feels like, I need you all to come up here and break into 2 teams. I need one side here and one side here. This is the fun part for the parents. I'm sure you all remember these from when these kids were 3 or 4 years old. Come on up. Half of you at one table, half of you at the other. We can't have it that easy. I guess we're going to. So here's what I need. Half of you all, move this over here so it's not in your way. Half of these folks are going to be linear gamers. The other half are going to be nonlinear gamers. Because we all know that girls are smarter than boys, we'll give the girls the bigger challenge first. So ladies, you will be linear. Gentlemen, you will be nonlinear. The way that the game works is that I want you to build a tower 7 blocks high. Okay? However you want to do it, 7 blocks high. As a team or individually, 1 tower on each table, 7 blocks high. The one rule for the linear team is that each of you can only touch 1 block at a time. Nobody can touch more than 1 block at a time. Okay? On the boys' side, on the non-linear side, no rules. We need a tower of 7 blocks, no rules. I'll give you 15 seconds to decide as a group how you're going to do it, and then I'll start the clock. 15 seconds starts now. All right, that's 15 seconds. We're looking for a tower 7 blocks tall. You ready? The first person to complete the tower wins. The first team to complete the tower wins. 1 tower, 7 blocks tall. Go. Stop. Our non-linear side has won already. 7 blocks in a row in the tower. Now we're going to switch this up. We're going to put our nonlinear team on the linear side and the linear team on the nonlinear side. So now you guys get to experience both sides. So let's go ahead and physically switch for the audience's sake. Now this is our linear team here, and this over here is our nonlinear team. And we're going to change one more thing. We're going to change the tower. Now the tower still has to be 7 blocks tall. However, we're going to change the architecture. 7 blocks tall with a T at the top. Linear team. One rule. Nobody touches more than 1 block at one time. Nonlinear team. No rules. You have 15 seconds to decide how you will execute, and then I'll start the timer. Your 15 seconds starts now. All right, 15 seconds is up. On your mark, get set, go. The first one to complete the new tower wins.
There you go. Jesus. Jesus. There we go.
That's time.
Oh, my God.
Our nonlinear side, with the full resources of an open world, was able to create this tower relatively quickly, in 26 seconds. They actually created a functional tower in about 7 seconds and simply had to refine it. Everyone saw that. Our linear side was struggling. Can someone here tell us what was your primary struggle with this tower?
We couldn't put the T at the top because we could only grab 1 block at a time.
Right, and that's a limitation, correct? There is a solution for this problem. You can put a T at the top without ever touching more than 1 block at a time. But in a linear game, if you don't know the process, if you don't know the pattern, you will never get the reward. You have to learn the pattern, or else you don't win. This team was not constrained by patterns. This team had to deal with patterns. So here's what we're going to do. I need 1 champion from each team to do the final challenge. And it will be a fair challenge, but I need 1 champion from each side. Who's it going to be? Do I have a champion from this side?
But we could only do 1 at a time. That'd be less than 2.
We have a champion over here? Who's it going to be? All right, here we go. Our 2 champions. I'm going to give you a new shape. But you're both in a linear world now. You're both on an equal playing field. 1 block at a time, and there's only 1 of you. Your teammates can't touch the blocks. It's just you. Here's your new design. 5 blocks on the bottom. 3 blocks in the middle. 1 block. 2 blocks. 1 block on top.
It's even hard to
It's even harder to do, right?
Oh, so it's 5, 3, 1, 1, 2.
Sound good,
It's only
Sean.
it's only 1 block at a time.
I'll take 1 block away. There we go.
5, 3, 1, 2.
5, 3, 1, 2, 1. 5, 3, 1, 2, 1. And the only rule is
1 block at a time.
you can only touch 1 block at a time. All right. You have 30 seconds to work with your team to come up with a strategy. After that, we start. 30 seconds starts now.
Yeah, but how do I do this? Like if I do this, I can only touch 1 block.
Wait, what's the number?
5 at the bottom. 3, 1, 2, 1.
That'll work.
You have 10 seconds left.
Okay.
Okay, who won?
That's time. On your marks, get set, go. Time. Excellent job. Excellent job. There are multiple ways to solve this problem, but what you saw was that our team, when given time to think in a nonlinear fashion, they were able to solve a linear problem faster. Thank you, everybody. You may sit down. You see, games are a powerful lens from which to consider life. Many people see life as a linear game, a series of predictable actions that have to happen in order for you to move on to the next level. But the problem with that is we all know the pattern. We've all seen the stories. And it's not compelling enough to capture our attention. So instead we get distracted. We look for alternatives that are more entertaining. This is why video games are as popular as they are. In a video game, the world is not linear. The world is non-linear. You can be anything you want to be. You can go anywhere you want to go. But I have a secret. I have a game cheat that not everybody knows about, and I want to share it with you. And the cheat is this, that life can be non-linear too. Life can allow you to go anywhere you want to go and be anything you want to be. Let me give you an example. Like you, I was the first person in my family to have the opportunity to go to university. I grew up in rural Pennsylvania. Do you even know where Pennsylvania is? Yeah?
It's to the north.
It's to the north. It's up there somewhere. Rural Pennsylvania in a predominantly white high school. I used to joke that I was peanut butter at Wonder Bread High. In my school, it was very ambitious just to want to graduate high school. So when I went to my guidance counselor and my principal, and I told them that I wanted to go on a full-ride scholarship to a military university, that was my goal. They were a little overwhelmed. They didn't know how to help me get there. To be honest, they didn't want to try. I was just one student of many, and most were just trying to graduate. I wanted more. After a year of applying and going through multiple levels of interview, I was accepted at the Air Force Academy, and I was able to travel across the country with a big old smile on my face from Pennsylvania to Colorado. Military school turned out to be really hard. But I had friends, and I had video games. So you know what my graduation day looked like, with the Game Boy and the pot-bellied politician talking for 90 minutes. But what you don't know is that after graduation, I went on with the Air Force to learn how to fly. I went on to learn Chinese. And one day the Air Force even replaced my Game Boy with a set of keys to nuclear missiles. The Air Force was interesting, but I decided I wanted my own side quest, because life isn't a linear game, it's a non-linear game. I didn't have to do what the Air Force wanted me to do, I could do something else. So I left. And I decided to apply to something that would be difficult. So I went and submitted an application to the Central Intelligence Agency. Who doesn't want to be a spy? I didn't really know what I was going to do, but I was pretty sure they weren't going to say yes. Until they said yes. And after another year of interviews and another year of intellectual batteries and personality tests, I walked across the seal at Langley Air Force Base as a covert intelligence collector living undercover. The CIA taught me 2 more languages. They sent me to 5 different continents. I traveled in alias. I had friends that were pretending to be terrorists and other friends that were pretending to be politicians in governments all around the world. It was an exciting time. I met my wife. We had our first child while we lived in Thailand. And then in 2013, I started being hungry again for a new adventure. The pattern was known to me, and I wanted something new. Because life does not have to be linear. We can choose our own adventure. So we did. We left the agency. We left everything behind in Langley, Virginia, and moved down here to sunny Florida. We opened our own business. Started doing what we wanted to do. My point is that if a peanut butter boy from rural Pennsylvania can live a nonlinear life, and so can you. There is no limitation. Zelda gave us the opportunity to discover an open world. And I hope I don't disappoint anybody here when I say that video games can teach us. They teach us determination. They teach us focus. They teach us commitment. Correct? Yeah. Video games teach us how to collaborate as a team, how to adapt and overcome. Parents, I encourage you to sit with your resident gamer one day and watch how they rise to the challenge of leadership in a non-linear world in that game. Watch how the courage and commitment and problem-solving skills that you've taught them come to life on screen. The minds that can master these games are the minds that can shape the future. The world that we live in now is not that different from the world of 1988. Companies are still stealing each other's ideas. They're still trying to starve out the competition. Everyone is still fighting for this small prize. Let me give you examples again. Snapchat started stories. You're laughing because you know what I'm about to say. Instagram stole them. Instagram started live streaming. Facebook stole it. Who was the first rideshare? Uber. Who stole it? Lyft. Who steals it next? Get, Juno, the list goes on and on. People just keep copying others' successes instead of making their own success. The game is linear. It's boring. It's predictable. Each of you are a living legacy of your families. The first generation to have the opportunity to go to college and shape a different future. Our world is an open world. It's a world where you can go where you want to go. You can be what you want to be. You can choose your equipment, you can save your progress, and you can take side quests. And worry not. Boss battles, they lie ahead of you. But rather than feeling like you have to jump from Goomba to Goomba, hoping for fireballs, chasing super mushrooms and invincibility stars, recognize that your potential is infinite. You don't have to do any of those things. You can choose to challenge yourself and create something new and amazing. So rather than following a linear path, I want to encourage you to recognize your potential. Explore your world and build your own legend.